Hello and welcome back. Now let's get working on, well, let's finish actually trying to finish this airplane right now. So I'm going to start modeling the wings, and then later on, once I finish the wings and the tail of the airplane, um, let's say, specify a small lesson just to add these small additions to our airplane, and then I'm gonna suggest you probably some other stuff that you can actually you know, how to fill the interior and so on and so forth. Alright, so let's get started. Now, since I'm working on the half of the airplane, I could, since actually this one is already finished, I could like select this, and I will go to the in fact the channel box. This is more like this is already a single object, so if I hit the W, as you can see, the manipulator tool is there. So since this is already done, I will modify and center pivot just for good measures. I mean, it will not affect our model, nor it will affect it in OpenGL. And I would love to name this as you see, it's made of only a single polygonal plane. Right now we have to make it like um, air or plane body. Alright, and I'm gonna add a layer here, but create new layer and assign selected objects. That's what I wanted to do. So if I do this, later on I can actually tweak the visibility of my object. Now please remember that the order of the layers here in the display layers, not the rendered ones, in the display layers is it doesn't actually matter at all. Alright, so if I have one more layer here, one more layer above, actually I'll double click on that layer and I'll call it plane body as well. Plane underscore body. By the way, Maya doesn't like spaces, so always, if you wanted to make something like that, just put an underscore there. Save. In fact, you can actually even make it as a template, so nobody can touch it, or as a resource. Let's say you cannot actually touch it, but the thing is just there. All right, as a reference, excuse me. So you cannot actually like select it. All right, so this is one of the other switches, and it's quite actually useful in case that you are modeling something a little bit complex, and you don't want to actually select specific parts, you know, by mistake. In fact, we could actually use such a feature when we're gonna try actually to put this kind of small, how can I say this, not rim, but this actually, when we're gonna put this on that, so it's gonna be a little bit on that object, so it's probably gonna have to use this feature. I'm gonna actually turn off this one, turn off the visibility. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to start on the plane here. Now I could let me see from the side how it looks like, and apparently the thickness is very I mean, it's not that very thick actually. So what I was thinking is making a single polygonal plane. And since, by the way, this is not the thickness, this is because the airplane, I believe, is already bent. You see, it's bent. It's not actually a pure straight line. It's just like going from here to there. So I'm gonna have actually to try to map it from the top, from the top and the front views, and then later on try to make the thickness accommodated with the side view. Now let me see here. I'm gonna add one more polygonal plane. I will just move it right here. Now, by the way, if you didn't notice yet, this is actually the second this dashed line is representing the one in the bottoms, so I will not actually touch that. Alright, now I could select that edge. Well, in fact, I could actually push this until here. Alright, and we'll take this and push it right there. Okay, and even select the vertex and start actually to make this as round as possible. And here. Okay, let's see how this looks like. from the side view. So I have actually to push it up. So I will select that object, push it up as much as possible. Remember, I'm somewhere here at the center, so it has to be, I mean, it could be not visible from the side view, but as well from the front it could be. And in fact, I'm gonna do so. So I'm gonna pick it up right there. And in fact, while I'm at it, I will just push it a little bit up. Okay. Now I'm going to make sure that my vertices are actually snapped to the grid, in case when we go actually and mirror the thing. Now I'm gonna grab this edge, extrude edge, and I will move it right there and stop. In fact, this is quite straightforward right now. I mean, since you already made the body of the plane, you're gonna see it is really very straightforward. I'm just gonna extrude the edges and that's it. So, well, in fact, I should have actually done the W, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna fix this right now. In fact, I'm gonna move them a little bit here. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm trying to accommodate these details, and I believe it will be the nice idea, a very good idea, to actually stop at every one of those lines. All right, I mean, okay, it doesn't matter if you wanted to add like some sort of details like these, but the main thing that there should be at least one edge here, that in case if you wanted to move it to some sort of hyper-realistic model, then you're gonna have to actually start adding these smaller details, which is already on the airplane, small ridges, if you will. Okay, let me try to make this as following the blueprint as possible right now. Let's see here. Okay, okay, let's see, probably a tad down, and we have until there. Okay, select the edges, shift right click, extrude edge, and W and move. Not very much, because I want to make sure that, well, in fact, I will actually move it even backwards a little bit, like so. Let's make sure that I'm not quite off. I'm not actually. In fact, I'm good. All right. Actually, before I forget, there's a very important thing. If I show the airplane, and if I select it, I'll try just to push this down a little bit. You see this? All this is actually a history. Now, some of you, I mean, right now I'm running on a moderate actually PC, so that's why it's a little bit. So that's why I cannot feel. I mean, I don't feel almost the difference. I mean, it's easy for me just to grab a vertex right away. But on some other PCs that have a fewer RAM, for example, or fewer processing clocks, fewer megahertz, if you will, it is going to be actually quite difficult. Sometimes they say, okay, I just began modeling and everything was fine until I just began to select the vertex, and I have to wait until it's being selected. Well, this happens because you have built up a history. Now, history is being built up because every action you do, like merging a vertex, tweaking a vertex, or not that very much on tweaking a vertex, but especially extrusions and all these stuff, Maya adds actually a specific node to it. Now let me see if I can show this to you. Probably in the I believe relationship editors. No, let me see, I need to go for the hypergraph. Here you go. And this is the plane body. I believe it was like graph selected. So as you can see here, this is a huge actually tree, very huge tree. Now you see polyplane, polytweak, and you have zillions of lines here. I don't know, I was extrude, here you go, polygonal extrusion, and this actually, all this is a history. All this is actually being kept in your RAM, in your memory, and you have really and history is really good sometimes when you really need it. But right now history is not that quite good, and probably we're gonna see an application of history, using history, when we are actually adding some sort of small details. So this huge thing, it has to be really cleared out because we are not going to use it anyway. So I'm going to go select the object, edit, and delete by type and history. Once I do that, all my history is gone, everything is just clean. Okay, now let me go again and hide this thing, and trying to extrude more edges. So select that edge, shift right click and extrude edge, move this guy, not that very much. I would love to stop right here, in fact, because I would love to move this up. Even I will move this, let me just go for edges and try to accommodate the detail as much as possible. Alright, I'm satisfied. Now I'm going again and select the edge here, and in fact right now it's quite trivial, so right now I don't need to add that very much details. In fact, I could just only add every polygonal plane every time when I want just to extrude, to stop at each of these lines, in fact. Okay, so select this, try to make it following the plane line of the wings as much as possible. Okay, edges, shift right click, extrude edge, move until here, because everything is just the same right now. G to repeat the command and move right there, G to repeat the command, move here. Okay, G to repeat the command and move there, and so on. G, G, and G. Let me see here. Okay, we're gonna add more details here in order to compass this. G, one more G, and stop. Okay, right now I'm gonna stop right here before I begin to introduce a series of extrusions just to get these round parts like I did here. And let's see how it did go, and it went actually quite well. Yeah, actually it went quite well. And in fact we're gonna add a lot of probably several extrusions here to encompass this roundness, so it's gonna be actually fun. Now okay, now let me go here and add, shift right click and extrude edge. I'll stop right there, try to move my vertex up like so. And in fact all these vertices are a little bit out of the line, but it is okay. The main thing, they are all in the same straight line. Okay, now select that edge, hold on, extrude edge here, stop and take a vertex and try to move it up and see. Probably gonna need one more, and apparently I will as well try to scale it down from the side. Shift right click, extrude edge. Well, I can actually put it right there and see what's gonna happen. If I needed one more detail, yep, I need one more. And yes, definitely I'm gonna need one more. Over here, I'm gonna just add one more. Shift right click, insert edge loop tool. This one. Hold on. Let me just go to object mode here. Shift right click and insert edge loop tool. This one. In order to insert one single loop. Now sometimes you insert it and it goes around certain objects. Make sure that if it doesn't work, make sure that you don't have unmerged vertices or uncontinuous kind of objects, because sometimes sometimes the normals are not actually pointing in the same direction, so it actually relies on all that. So please take care about that. Okay, let's see. There we go. Now we got this correctly. Okay, I believe we got the wing. Almost there. Yeah, it is somewhere. Okay, now we have actually to probably push it a little bit to the front, and apparently I completely forgot about the has to be a little bit upwards probably. Let me see. Probably because it's not aligned that very much perfectly. But in fact, since I got this actually correct from the top and the front, hold on, from the top and the front views, I would actually keep it that way. And not a problem, I will actually refer to the side view in this part, in these pieces. And in fact I have to add probably more details to encompass this kind of a curviness. So I would do like this: insert edge loop tool. Hold on. Let me see. The problem is a little bit. Yeah, I believe I have to add more curviness to it. Let me try to push it a little bit away right now and see what's gonna happen. So yes, definitely gonna add curviness to it, but not now. I would love first just to give it the thickness before I do anything else. Oh yes, now I have as well to map this correctly as well. So like this, like so, and like so. So we have our airplane is fine. In fact, I would actually right now go and select all the faces and this is more like a ridged, but it doesn't matter. I'll select all these faces and shift right click and extrude face. And by the way, make sure that you have keep faces together. If you have done that, you could actually undo, or this is one of your inputs of your history. You can come over here and just put this, instead of on, you could write off, or you can write 0. So 0 or 1, or you can write on or write off by yourself. I mean, it's going to be the same thing. Right now I'm going to push this a little bit down, and let's see what's happened on the side here. Yep, okay, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna straighten this up. Yes. Okay, let me try to select first the vertices and try to make them stand out a little bit correctly. And this one is gonna be here, this one is gonna be there, probably like this, like that. And apparently not all of them are sitting on this kind of detail. Alright, so let me try to push this down. In fact, I'm gonna select them. Okay. Trying to follow the line here, so okay, following this one here. So everything has to be like smooth, like one single flow. In fact, this guy is a little bit off. So right there. This guy right there. Yeah, this is probably, I made it correctly in the top view, but apparently it's not quite aligned with the side view. Okay. Overall, okay, we are flowing somewhere. Okay, right now it's going to be a little bit interesting here. Now I have to push this down all at once, and this one as well. Okay. Alright, so we got something done. Let me see in the side view. Well, apparently Oh, we apparently got this kind of, yeah, curviness already. So in fact we should be like somewhat following, yeah, following this. Here we go, we got that as well, we got that detail correct. Okay, no problem. So let's see, we still have one more small extrusion, and probably I'm gonna add one more small detail, just one more line through, going through this part, in order just to get this pointy part, you know, like some sort of like that. So I want to actually to get a little bit roundness here. So anyway, I'm gonna select all the faces in the bottom like so. So I'm gonna go here and well, I have to select them in fact one by one now. So we got them all, we don't need to select anything unnecessary. Shift right click, extrude face, and down one more. And in fact, let me see here. Oh, in fact it actually was almost accurate. There we go. And since we already aligned these guys correctly, so by default this is almost aligned as well correctly. Now before I go further, I would love to select the vertices here, X, and snap them to the grid, and that is pretty much it. In fact, I'm gonna move this guy a little bit up, a little bit here, and move this guy here like so. In fact, I'm gonna make it a little bit roundy from here without adding more details. Let's see what's gonna happen about that. Okay, fine by me. So we have a piece of the wings. If I just smooth it out, like smooth preview, yeah, it looks nice. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. So since this is like a low poly model, I will not even touch it anymore. I will leave it even like that. Okay. Now I could let me see here. I could actually go and mirror this. So let's see what's gonna happen. So shift right click and mirror polygon to -X. Let's see what's happened in the center here. Let's hope that everything went fine, and in fact yes. In fact it's cool. Right now we got our airplane. Wings are nicely mapped out. That's cool. I love it. I like it. I like it. Okay, although it's not that perfect from that side, but it doesn't matter. I mean, I can even tweak the vertices here as well, but I wouldn't do that, so I will not lose the symmetry. Okay, so I would love to keep it that way. Alright, so let me select this, and let me show even the body and see how they are matching up. So yeah, we are somewhere there, definitely. Alright, so I will select this one, and I will create a new layer and assign a selected object to it, and I'm gonna call this wings, or wing, top wing actually, top underscore or wing underscore top. Save, and that's pretty much it probably. You know what, in order just to keep it aerodynamic a little bit, I'll just select all these edges. Let me make sure just the vertices are merged. Oh, in fact the vertices are not merged. Shift right click and merge vertices. So I'm gonna, oh, I have 4. So I'm gonna actually just merge those guys. You see, when I tried to select actually the loop, it didn't go over the loop and selected it. So okay, now we have really a lot of history, so we have to clean that as well. I'm gonna call this wing top, and edit delete by type history, and going and selecting these guys. So shift, okay, double click these ones as well. So right now we got all this. Now in fact I'm gonna scale them in all directions like this. Now when I do so, they actually start to go driving away. So I'm gonna actually let me see what happens if I do this. Oh well, in fact it's not that very good. Now let me try to scale it from here to give it some certain roundness, you know, like on the corners, and as well scale it down, but scale it up, but not that very much. I mean, like so, just a bit, you know. Okay, now this is very much it. I don't want to, just to make it as much as round as possible. Although I will be running out of the, you see, I'm gonna be running out almost very big time, like from the sides, but it's okay, because when you're gonna push this into like a little bit realistic model, let's say, smooth it out, you see it's more like, oh boy, we have some as well problems here. Let's see, one, okay, let's see, this one is one, and one. This is a good question, why it is behaving like that. Let's see. It's a little bit interesting how it does behave, because it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Let me see, how about the edges? How many of them do I have? Well, I mean, since I merged the vertices, somehow they're behaving in a very interesting way. Select the face. Aha, this is the one which is standing in the middle. Oh yes, I forgot actually to delete that face. Oh yes, when you mirror you have to delete the middle ones. Ah yes, now it makes sense. Okay, now you see we had actually middle faces here, so that's why it didn't. I mean, right now it should be actually working fine if I do this. Yep, it does it. So actually I got the whole faces are actually selected nicely. Alright, that's good. Now if I smooth this out, it will be like a single piece. Okay, excellent. Now I'm gonna back this again, and probably even I could hide both. And I believe since everything is just the same, well, almost the same, because I have a different poly count and a different poly details. Right now I advise you, I'm actually gonna do this off the camera right now. Since you already know how to do the first one, I believe it will be a nice idea that you try to do yourself the next one, and even the next one is much easier because it's like it's not completely here, it's just sticking out, so you're gonna have to flip it just on the other side and that's it, you know. So I will pause actually here, or you know what, I will just end the video, and then in the next lesson we're gonna just start completely a fresh with a fresh lesson with the completing probably, let me see here, the this front actually piece, the cockpit, and probably the detail of the tail. So we're gonna see that in the next lesson, right? So see you in the next lesson. Save this.